Welcome back to Liberty and Finance. We have a quick news flash here. We've been getting alerted by various clients over the past 2 days of a swirling news story in independent media about bullion, talking about an impending increase in prices of the American Silver Eagle uncirculated product to $67 by October 13th, so the midnight of the 12th. That's coming up next week. We wanted to get to the bottom of this story to find out what it really is, because we're concerned not only about the possibility for fake news, but even misinformed and well-intended news reporting and being misinterpreted. We're speaking with Andy Schectman, the CEO of Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments. Andy, thanks for joining us again on Liberty and Finance.
Always good to see you, Dunagun. Thanks for having me back.
I reached out to you right away on this because I knew you had deep contacts in the inside of the market, because ironically some of the reporting we've seen on this is saying here's what they're seeing printed in this document, or here's what they're seeing reported, and they speculated. They worked on it for hours trying to run different scenarios and talk about it, figure it out, but people aren't talking to people on the inside. So can you tell us, we need to clarify a number of aspects of this and to really break it down for people in a nutshell, what the scope is of this announcement by the Mint. So first of all, if we can kind of take an orderly approach to that, I'd appreciate it. First of all, I wonder if you could just tell us, is it true or is it fake news that the price from the Mint of uncirculated Silver Eagles, what they call that product, uncirculated Silver Eagles, is going up to $67 next Tuesday?
It is true. That part is true. But what isn't true is that uncirculated Eagles are not commercial strike uncirculated Eagles. That is where the definition needs to be amended. You need to throw the word or the phrase commercial strike in before uncirculated. The difference is, so the U.S. Mint, if you go to usmint.gov, you're able to buy certain products from the U.S. Mint directly, like a proof coin. This is a proof coin right here. I brought a couple of these for show and tell. When you open up the proof coin, you get a piece of paper that shows the year it was struck and the specification of the coin. And then you have a velvet box, and you open up the velvet box, and there's a shiny, beautiful proof American Silver Eagle in there. These coins are buffed under an industrial buffer, so you can see that your reflection.
It's a mirror-like shine, yeah.
Yes, stamped 3 times for greater definition instead of once, put in a velvet box, and sold for 2 or 3 times its value. That's a proof coin.
That's a proof coin. That's not what the story was about. Go ahead.
Right, but they also make these. You can see that. These are uncirculated coins from the U.S. Mint that you can buy directly from usmint.gov. You open it up. There is the same specification paperwork with the specification of the coin, and here's the difference. No velvet box. Now this you can buy for $57 or what have you right now from the U.S. Mint. And they're saying these are going to be raised by $9 an ounce at midnight on Monday. I have verified that from my contact at the United States Mint. What is not being raised, however, are the commercial strike coins that come in tubes of 20 and boxes of 500 that all of our listeners and clients typically purchase. So while the story is in essence true, it's lacking a little bit of clarity, and that clarity is the phrase commercial strike. Commercial strike coins cannot be purchased directly from the Mint. They are produced and sent out to the distributors like myself around the country, who then sell them to the public. So just to recoup, proof, uncirculated, directly from the U.S. Mint. Uncirculated commercial strike, just a regular Silver Eagle in a tube of 20. You cannot buy from the U.S. Mint directly. You have to buy through an authorized dealer, and those prices are not going up at midnight on Monday.
Well, before we leave this point, the brilliant uncirculated U.S. Silver Eagles that are advertised on all the major dealers, including Miles Franklin, are what you're describing as commercial strike, but everybody just calls them BU 2020s, brilliant uncirculated 2020s. And that is, there's room for confusion there, because the announcement that came out from the Mint said American Silver Eagle uncirculated 2020. So people might miss the distinction there, but you're talking about and it even says, and I'll include a picture of the catalog cut that you shared with me that says it's for gifts and for special occasions, and it comes in the blue box, and it has the certificate of authenticity, and all of that is not true about the ordinary brilliant uncirculated bullion. So the client asked me if those numismatic, so-called from the mint, numismatic uncirculated Silver Eagles are better than ordinary brilliant uncirculated BU Silver Eagles that they've been buying. Are those normal BU Silver Eagles not desirable investments?
It's not true at all. In fact, I think buying proof coins in general is a fool's errand, at least somewhat a fool's errand. It's like buying a hot fudge sundae of nothing but cherries and no ice cream. I think the bottom line is that I buy 3 of these proof coins, silver and 3 gold, every year for my 3 children. That's it. I buy them as a collectible. It is not my gold and silver holdings. They're different. To me, in the end, it's about number of ounces that you own. And again, it has nothing to do with the shine or the collectability of the bullion coin. It's more about the number of ounces that you buy. And quite frankly, the commercial strike gold and silver eagles are the cream of the crop in bullion products. So, look, if you want to have a cherry on top of your sundae and have some fancy looking coins to give as gifts or to pass on to your children, and they are fun to look at. They are impressive to look at. The velvet box and the shine, they're cool. They're neat, but they're not the way to accumulate, because the cost on the uncirculated coin let me put it this way. This coin, which is no nicer than a regular Silver Eagle, what you're paying the extra $30 for is this blue box, this piece of paper, and this little plastic capsule. Because you take it out, I mean, it's just, that's it. It's what it is. It's just a way to present it nicer than giving someone a coin. That's what you're paying for. So no, it's about number of ounces.
Okay. One of the questions, another confusion that came was whether this price increase, because the wording on some of the announcements, and one of these announcements came out from a major silver dealer online, the wording that they're including saying that the U.S. Mint is increasing the price of silver. Now, that seems to be even a further step away from what you're describing, because you're describing, can you tell us again what your contact at the Mint specifically said the scope of the increase is going to be?
He said to me at midnight on Monday, all the numismatic silver coins will be raised by $9 an ounce. Now, hey, maybe the U.S. Mint knows something that we don't. I don't think the U.S. Mint has the ability or authority to raise the price of silver. If they did, that would be great. We'd all be happy about that, but I don't think that's going to happen. And what they're talking about is, bottom line is that, look, you would think what this means is that they have a shortness of supply and increase in demand, which is what I've been saying forever on this channel, is that what we have been seeing is a gummed up supply chain. We've seen way increase in supply. And so typically when you raise the price of something, it's not because you have no demand and tons of supply. It's the opposite of that. I would argue that this is getting in front of supply issues and massive demand, all of which is good for those of us who hold silver.
I'll put a little more cynical proposal out there, and that is perhaps because they said some verbiage in their press release about having to make sure that they operate a balanced budget, because that's part of their mandate, is that they're looking at their added reduced capacity and the cleaning they have to do and the social distancing and all this other that's been affecting many businesses. It's not efficient, it's not cost effective, and that they knew that they couldn't make it up on their regular products because the market won't tolerate just crazy premiums. So they said, well, look, we've already got these crazy markups on these collectibles. Let's stick it there. People won't mind it there. They've already proven they're not a cost-conscious buyer in that particular category. Just a thought.
Well, look, I've tongue-in-cheek have said for a long time the U.S. Mint is the model of inefficiency. It's one of the only branches of the government that really makes money, and yet they're constantly running out of supply. They're constantly having issues with production. Just go try to buy a platinum eagle. They're as rare as hen's teeth. Since 2008, they've hardly made any. They continually run out of product, even when in the 5, 6, 7 years ago, they're running out every October, November when there was no demand. Mm-hmm. So bottom line is you're dealing with an entity that is inefficient. And in particular, as you're saying, and that's a good point, a few weeks ago, we were on a call that said for the next 18 months, they will be issuing only gold or only silver due to social distancing and cleaning and COVID restrictions. So you're dealing with an entity that in and of itself is inefficient, has to maintain social distancing guidelines, has to mitigate their outflow because of COVID. And the whole thing is just, I would guess, is just an effort to maybe keep up, like you said, with costs, which are escalating, and output, which is declining.
Another question we had from a viewer was, if they do go ahead and cough up the extra higher premium for these special gift grade, so-called numismatic grade, uncirculated American Silver Eagles, will they get that same premium back when they go to sell them in the future?
So first of all, I'd like to caveat this by saying, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone who buys these uncirculated coins from the mint. Typically, they buy the proof coins. I happen to have one of these here because I own a precious metals company, but in general, no one ever buys them. I've never seen them from any of our clients, and I don't sell them. However, the answer is yes. If you own those coins or proof coins, if it costs more to buy them in the open market, we will pay more to buy them from clients. That premium is something that we are proud of, the fact that we always pass back to our clients. And so we'll go back to March as an example in commercial strikes. With a $10 premium on Silver Eagles, the bid price would have been north of $8. So the majority of all of that premium that clients are paying, whether they are buying it up front or selling it after the fact, is returned if the market pays it. And it's a function of demand and supply. So right now, you can buy a 2020 Silver Eagle for $4.75 over the price of silver. In March, it was $10 over. So you're not going to get the same bid price today that you would have in March. It's all a function of supply and demand. And I would argue that you will see those premiums increase. And this is exactly maybe foreshadowing of that, starting with the mint and then into the market. Maybe they know something we don't. I'm not quite sure. But bottom line is, yes, I think that you'll see premiums increase, and we always pass that premium on, including the older proof coins if clients had them after this cost to buy them in the open market from the mint goes up.
With the caveat that provided that the market supports that premium. So if times get tough or whatever and people become more focused just on the metal content and they really aren't willing to pay as much for that nicety of the box and the wrappings or whatever, we can't absolutely, I believe, we cannot guarantee as a dealer that the market will support that in the future.
I'd like to make a point. I mean, the bottom line is companies that focus on these proof coins are ripping people off, period. And I try to say, I'm not mentioning any companies' names, but they're ripping you off. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, gold eagle proof coins were $200, $300 premium with $1,000 gold. They were really expensive. I was shocked. I had a client who called me and sold 50 proof buffaloes. I bought them myself. Because when I spoke with my operations department, this might have been a year ago, 8 months ago, 10 months ago, I don't know, something like that. The premium on the proof buffalo, get this, was less than the commercial strike. I would have paid him more for a commercial strike coin in a tube than I would have for a coin like this in a velvet box with a certificate. He was horrified. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. I called 3 or 4 different sources around the industry to see if this was real. Indeed, it was. The proof market has collapsed. It has completely and totally collapsed. So anyone out there listening to this, do not go out and spend extra money for proof coins. It is not in your best interest. It has not been for quite some time. Like numismatics, if you can buy a proof coin for just a few dollars over the price or the same price as a regular commercial strike coin, well, yeah, it's great. It's prettier, it's nicer, it's fancier. Do it. But if you have to pay a big premium, like in this case, 2 to 3 times what you would buy a regular coin for, it's a fool's errand.
Related question, and this one really shocked me because I saw a pretty popular alternative media site, a bullion site, talking about this question, and that is, does this move by the mint mean that all of their other coins and all silver products are going to be going up by equal, this is a big percentage move for them on this particular boxed coin. Is like, 25% up to. So I think you've already explained that it only applies to their numismatics. This announcement was only numismatics. It's not about investment grade bullion coins.
No, I don't. I think it's just the U.S. Mint raising prices on their collector coins. I think it has nothing to do with the open market silver price at all. I think that they have a price that they keep above the price of silver, and it floats. If the price of silver goes up, so too does their price of above spot of what they're making their fancy coins for. So no, I mean, I think the price of silver is going higher, and I think the price of gold's going higher, and I think the U.S. Mint is doing what they can to recoup costs. I don't know, but I think it has nothing to do with the actual physical price of silver, and I think that that's quite misleading. Whoever is posting that, I think it's wishful thinking. I think that that one has nothing to do with the other, really. Yes, you don't have to worry about Silver Eagles going up in value from the U.S. Mint. In fact, I'm going to show this. I showed this to you, but here's for your listeners. Here's a communication I had with my representative at the U.S. Mint, and I hope they can all see that. And it says, at midnight on Monday, everything's going up by $9 on their numismatic coins, period. They're not raising the price of silver. They're not raising the price of their commercial strike coins. But waiting, again, is not something I would recommend, especially going into this election, especially going into the end of the year. And I think it's a mistake. They're going to run out of supply long before the prices go up. Typically, by November, almost every single year in my career, they run out of supply. And for your listeners who want to buy Silver Eagles, this is a cool year to do it. It's the last year of the new design, of the old design. 2021 is the new design. There's been a ton of people who've been collecting 2020 coins because it's the end of an era since 1986. So I guess the bottom line is simply this: is that waiting is not the way to do it. The way to do it is to buy on the dips. I'd like to take this one brief moment just to mention something that I went back and looked at some work that we have done in the past, going all the way back to 2014. And next time I talk with you, I'll show you these charts. But the first week in October, I believe, is called the Golden Week in China. And it's a celebration, and most of the traders are gone. And if you go back all the way to 2012 and 13, my research went every single year, just about, within the first 10 days of October, they smash the crap out of the price. Straight down. And then when they come back to work like they do today, it goes straight back up within just a few days. And if you look at what has happened this week, it was in the middle of the Chinese Golden Week. They smashed the crap out of the price. And what's happening? It's going right back up. They are using the price of metal to misdirect, to keep people from running out of the system into precious metals. Trust your gut. Do not wait. Buy on the dips like last week. Don't chase the rallies like today. Every single bull market, you go back and look at any bull market, any commodity, any asset class, the key to winning it is to first identify the trend, the primary trend. Second, buy on the dips. And third, do not chase the rallies. And if you do that, you're going to be a winner. Now, waiting for the price to come down, that's not a good idea either in this market, simply because you're dealing with the model of inefficiency with the U.S. Mint. And they will run out of the 2020s, and it's going to happen real soon. You watch. It'll be long before the election or right around the time of the election. The 2020s will be out, and they will not present the 2021s till somewhere in December. So if you're looking to get product, a bird in the hand is worth X in the bush. Cost average if you're uncertain. If you want to spend $5,000 on Silver Eagles, but you want to wait for a lower price, spend $1,500 today and $1,500 next Monday and $1,500 a few days after that, unless you change your mind because the price spikes or the price drops. But don't wait. It's not a good recipe in this industry because of the model of inefficiency that is the U.S. Mint.
So the old saying, I believe it was from World War II, from the British office of keep calm and carry on. It came to me today when I was talking to two different clients that were pretty panicky about this. Just keep calm and carry on stacking your Silver Eagles, but don't go buying them crazy panic today thinking that 4 days from now you're going to be getting all of them guaranteed double on you when they come out with these high-priced increase on their collectible coins. So We thank you very much,
Correct.
Andy, for helping us get this out. I'm going to try to get this out as quickly as possible so we can set the story straight for people. We try to give you the inside scoop. That's why we don't guess around the edges as much. We talk to people on the inside. Andy, thank you for helping reach out to your contact at the Mint and setting us straight on this.
And again, it's guys like you that are doing such an amazing service for the public out there. I hope all you listening realize that Dunagun reached out to me first thing this morning. He was all over this, asked us to get together, did some research. If our news media did as much digging and spent as much time and was honest and honorable as you are, well, you might not need to be doing what you're doing. But God bless you for doing what you're doing. I'm pleased to be part of it. I'm honored to be part of working with you and your family. And thanks for having me on. If you ever need me an impromptu deal like this, I'm always just a phone call away.
Thanks
Always
for
happy
jumping
to
on
see
the call,
your face,
Andy.
even
Really,
on Skype. You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. Thanks. We've been talking with
take
Andy
care.
Schectman, the CEO of Miles Franklin. You can find him at milesfranklin.com or email him at andy@milesfranklin.com. And just thanks for being here, guys. If you want to sign up for our free newsletter, go to libertyandfinance.com. It's very easy to sign up for our free newsletter there. Thank you, everyone, for checking this out. Please share this widely. Clarify this to your friends in the investment community. They don't need to go crazy thinking that their Silver Eagles are going to double by Tuesday. So thanks, Andy.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
To acquire gold and silver, just go to libertyandfinance.com. When the main site comes up, click on Bullion Sales. That's libertyandfinance.com, Bullion Sales. You'll see my name, Dunagun Kaiser, my phone number, and my associate, Kaiser Johnson, his phone number, our email, libertyandfinance@protonmail.com.